Section 2.2 homework problem number 5. Now, this could be a challenging problem if we don't understand fractions. So let's look at my example. So at a neighborhood park, 1/3 of the park is to be used for a new playground. So whenever we see a fraction, we need to pay attention to the whole of this fraction. So we got a fraction 1/3. The whole is right after the word of the entire park. So for the fraction 1/3, the whole is the park. Now, the next swings will be placed on 1/3 of the area of the playground. So for the fraction 1/4, the whole is just the area of the playground. We know the park has more than the area of the playground. So it includes playground and maybe the other basketball court or a lawn and a lot of other places. So you notice these two fractions, they don't have the same whole. Now, what fraction of the neighborhood park will the swing area be? So the answer we're looking for also a fraction. What fraction of this answer we're looking for has a whole, which is the park, the neighborhood park. And so we're comparing two quantities. One of them is the swing area. The other is the park, entire park. So we know the swing area, of course, is just a portion of the park. But what fraction is the swing area of the entire park? And notice that although they did mention the swing area is 1/4 of the area of the playground, but it may not be. It's not 1/4 of the entire park. So if I kind of draw a picture to show, so let's say this is the swim area, and we have the playground. So this is the playground. Use the black circle here, and then we also going to use a different color for the entire park. So the entire park might be this big. So the swing area is, compared to the black circle, it's a quarter. It's a quarter of the black circle. But compared to the park, it's much less portion of the park. So you're going to get a smaller fraction. All right, so here we're comparing the swing area and this entire park. So of course, when we draw the pictures, we want to use like the strip diagram. We don't really want to use just a picture like this. So I'm gonna, well, I guess I can keep it this here temporarily. And so now this is what we do. So first of all, we are going to notice that the question did ask us to make a math drawing. So if they say that, you must show a math drawing to help you solve the problem. And use our definition of fraction. So let's recall the definition of a fraction. So any fraction, when you're given, the top means the number of parts. So you will have one part. And the bottom tells us the size of the fraction, which is 1/3. So we have one part, and each part has a size 1/3. And 1/4, we have one part, each part has a size of 1/4. So now let's start drawing. So we are going to draw, let's say we're going to start with the first fraction, 1/3 of the park. So I drew a long, well, I already have the cuts in here. So, but when you start, you will draw a long paper strip. We call it a strip diagram. So you draw a long strip, and then we cut this into 1/3. Means the size of each part is going to be 1/3, which means you divide this into 3 equal parts. So that's the first, the blue cuts I have here. Okay, so this whole paper strip represents the entire park. And if I cut this into 3 equal parts, each of them, of course, it's 1/3 of the park. Okay, next we're going to look at the fraction 1/4. And notice that Well, that 1/3 of the park, that's the neighborhood, that's the playground. So this is the playground. We can pick any one of these three parts. So I'm just going to take the first one. So that's the playground here. So playground is only 1/3 of the entire park. And now next, 1/4 is 1/4 of what? 1/4 of the playground. So which means, since I took the first section as my playground, so I'm gonna divide this into 4 equal parts. 1/4 means you have 4 equal parts. So each of them is gonna be 1/4. But be careful, that this 1/4 is 1/4 of the yellow area, not the 1/4 of the entire park. So we have to be careful here. So maybe I should mark 1/3 of the park, 1/3 of the park, 1/3 of the park. But 1/4 is 1/4 of the playground. Maybe I'll put a G here, playground. Okay, so notice that, so what we are asking you, I'm going to use maybe just do this. So this is just the swing area. But now, compared to the yellow section, it's a quarter. But we want to compare this to the entire park, which is the whole strip. And notice that, well, I did cut the first part into 4 equal parts, but I also need to, in order to compare to the entire paper strip, from here all the way to here, I should also cut them into equal parts, because the yellow, so right, the yellow part I cut into 4 equal parts. The small, which is each of them is smaller than a section, this section or that section. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, cut them into 4 equal parts, 4 equal parts. So now I have a total of 12 parts, because each of the 3 parts I divided into 4 equal parts. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Altogether, that's 12 parts. So the park has been divided into 12 parts, and the playground has how many parts? As you can see, the playground is a yellow area. So the playground has 4 parts, and the swing area, it's just, I'm going to shade it. So this is the swing area, which is only 1 part. So the swing area is 1 part. So now we can compare, and you can see that the swing area 1 part is, compared to the playground, is 1/4, because 1 out of 4. But if you compare the swing area to the park, it's going to be 1/12, because swing area is only 1 part, but park is 12 parts. So it's 1 out of 12. So that's how I got the answer 1/12. Okay, so I am going to probably go back here to use my original drawing. So if you remember how we started, so draw a long paper strip to represent the entire park. And first, you're going to cut this into just the 3 equal parts. So this is going to be 1/3 of the park, that's 1/3 of the park. Of course, this is also 1/3 of the park. Ignore the inside cuts. And then this is also 1/3 of the park, 3 equal parts. And now we're going to take one of the yellow section, which is the playground. And how do I know that? Because the question says it's 1/3 of the park is the new playground. So this is the playground, 1/3, which is 1/3 equals 1/3 of the park. Next, because we're going to draw the swing area. So the swing area is 1/4 of the playground. So notice that playground is just the yellow part here. So that's why I divide it into 4 equal parts. So one of them is going to be this section. Maybe I use this color. And that section right here, this little section, 1 part is the swing area. And notice it only has 1 part. And playground, notice we have 4 parts. And the park, the entire park has a total of 12 parts. So if you label them like that, it will be easy for you to see the answer. Okay, so that's the swing area will be 1/12 of the area of the oh sorry, this should be the area of the park, the entire park. So we partition like we did, we partition the playground into 4 equal parts. And so the process, first I partition the park into 3 equal parts, and then I partition the playground into 4 equal parts. So the swing area is 1/4 of the playground. Here the swing area is 1/4, 1/4. And then we partition the rest of the park, as I did here, into 4 equal parts. So that tells me the park has a total of 12 equal parts. Because all of these little parts have the same size, so we can compare them. If they have different sizes, we can't. So that's how we do part A. Now part B, we describe the different unit amounts. So unit amount means the whole. So usually we say the word whole, but you can also call it a unit amount, because unit means one, so one whole means 1 unit. And different unit amounts, and discuss how one amount can be described with 2 different fractions. So notice that this section swing area right here, this one part right here, we could use write it as a fraction 1/4. 1/4 of what? But it's 1/4 of the playground, because we compare the swing area to the playground, yellow part here. But if we compare the swing area to the entire park, the long paper strip, the entire paper strip, we got the answer 1/12. So it could be 2 different answers. Okay, so here we have, for example, we can start with 1/3. So 1/3, the whole, or the part, is 1 of the units. So the entire park is the whole. It's the whole for the fraction 1/3. And you can, if you don't like saying the unit amount, you can use the word the whole. So the park is 1 of the wholes, and the entire paper strip, 1/3. So that's the one part. The park is the whole for 1/3. Now another whole, again, the textbook call it unit amount, but you can think of it as the whole. So the other whole is the playground, because when we say 1/3 of the park or the playground, so the 1/3 of the park, which is also the playground, the yellow section here, or the blue section. And I guess if you want to just say one of them, you could just say another whole is the playground. The playground, what is the playground? The playground is 1/3 of the park. So, and the swing area is 1/4 of the playground. So we have also another whole, which is the playground as the whole. So we could take the entire paper strip as the whole, or we could just take the playground as the whole. All right, so depending on which whole we're using, the swing area could be viewed as a fraction 1/4, because it's 1/4 the playground, or 1/12, but it's the comparing the swing area to the park, so it's 1/12 of the park. So we are all either, so this section that I shaded right here is the swing area. You can call this swing area a fraction of 1/4 or 1/12, depending on which whole you're compared to. So if you would, again, if we compare to the playground, the yellow section, it's just 1/4. But if we compare to the entire paper strip, it's going to be 1/12. So the whole, when the whole changes, the fraction also changes. So although we are talking about the same swing area, we got 2 different fractions, 1/4 and 1/12.